1. Introduction. My name is Sophia. I am 24 years old now. I want to share my story with you. It is a story about love and friendship, and sometimes how difficult these things can be. It is mostly about a man named James. I have loved James for a very long time, for many years now. It started slowly, but my feelings grew stronger each year. But there is a big problem, a secret I keep inside. James does not know how I feel about him. He has no idea that I love him in a special, romantic way. He thinks of me differently. For James, I am just his best friend. We talk about everything, the good things and the bad things in our lives. We share secrets that we do not tell anyone else. We spend a lot of time together, watching movies, walking in the park, or just talking for hours. He trusts me completely, and I trust him too. Being his best friend is wonderful in many ways. He is funny and makes me laugh. But it is also very difficult for me. It is difficult because deep inside, I want more than just friendship. I want us to be together, like a real couple. When I see him, my heart beats faster. When he smiles at me, my day feels brighter. But I cannot tell him this. I have to pretend these feelings are not there. James is truly a wonderful person. He is very smart. He understands difficult things easily, and he always did well in his studies. He is also very handsome. He has kind eyes, dark hair, and a smile that can make anyone feel happy. Many girls notice him and like him. It is easy to understand why they feel that way. He is not just good-looking on the outside. He is also very kind on the inside. He always tries to help people when they need help. He listens carefully when you talk, showing he really cares. He is gentle and thoughtful in his actions. He is the kind of man many people hope to find. We met when we were younger, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. It was during our time in college. We were both studying in the same building and had one class together. We started talking about the class and then about other things. Soon, we became very good friends. We studied together for exams, we went for coffee between classes, and we talked about our dreams and future plans. Our friendship grew stronger and deeper over the years. He became the most important person in my life, besides my own family. But every time we meet, every time we talk on the phone, I have to hide my true feelings. I put on a happy face and act like just a normal friend. Why do I do this? Because I am scared. I am very, very scared. What if I tell him I love him? What if he does not feel the same way about me? He might feel uncomfortable or strange around me after that. Our friendship, the friendship I value so much, could end forever. I could lose him completely from my life. Losing him as my best friend is my biggest fear. So I keep my feelings locked inside my heart. I keep my deep love for him a secret. It hurts sometimes, feeling this way and not saying anything. But the idea of losing his friendship hurts much more. So I wait and hope, but mostly I just stay his loyal friend. 2. James has a girl. One day, Sophia heard news about James. Friends told her that James was dating someone new. Her name was Emily. Sophia felt a cold feeling inside her chest. She asked her friends about Emily. They said Emily was very beautiful. She had a lot of money and nice clothes. Emily always looked sure of herself. People saw James and Emily together often. They looked happy. Many people said they were a perfect couple. They looked good together, like people in a movie. Sophia tried to be happy for James. He was her best friend. She wanted him to be happy, but deep inside, her heart hurt. She still loved him very much. Seeing him with another girl was difficult. She tried to hide her feelings. She smiled when people talked about James and Emily. Then James called Sophia. He asked her, "Can we have dinner soon? I want to talk to you." Sophia felt surprised. Maybe he wanted to talk about Emily, or maybe something else. She said yes. She hoped maybe he missed their friendship. She got ready for the dinner. She tried to look nice, but her hands were shaking a little. They went to a quiet restaurant. James looked very happy. He smiled a lot. They talked about work and friends. Then James became serious. He looked at Sophia and said, "I have big news. I am going to ask Emily to marry me." He wanted to marry Emily. Sophia felt like her world stopped. The noise in the restaurant went away. She could only hear James's words, "Marry Emily." Her heart felt like it broke into many small pieces. It was hard to breathe. She wanted to cry. She wanted to run away. But James was looking at her, waiting for her answer. He looked so happy and excited. She could not show her sadness. She took a slow breath. She made herself smile. It was the hardest smile of her life. "Wow, James," she said. Her voice was quiet. "That is great news, really great." Inside, she was crying silent tears. She felt cold and alone, even though James was right there. He smiled, happy with her answer. He did not see the pain in her eyes. He started talking about his plans for the proposal. Sophia listened, but she did not really hear him. Her dream was over. James loved someone else. 3. Helping with the wedding. James called Sophia a few days after he told her about the engagement. He sounded happy. "Sophia, I need your help," he said. "Emily and I are planning the wedding. It's a lot of work. You are good at organizing things. Can you help us?" Sophia's heart felt heavy. Helping plan the wedding for the man she loved felt terrible. But she could not say no to James. He was her best friend. "Of course, James," she replied, trying to sound cheerful. "I can help." So Sophia started helping with the plans. It was very difficult for her. They visited beautiful places for the wedding party. They chose flowers. White roses were Emily's favorite. They tasted different wedding cakes. James was excited about everything. He talked about his future life with Emily. Sophia smiled and listened, but inside she felt deep sadness. Emily joined them sometimes. When James was not looking, Emily was often bossy towards Sophia. She did not ask politely. "Get me coffee," she told Sophia one time. Another day, Emily looked at Sophia's ideas for invitations. "These are okay," she said coldly, "but my ideas are better." Emily was also rude to the people working in the wedding shops. She spoke loudly and was not kind. Sophia saw Emily's real behavior. She saw Emily was not nice like James, but James did not notice. When Emily was bossy, James thought she was just tired. He believed she was stressed about the wedding day. "Planning a wedding is hard work," James told Sophia one afternoon. "Emily wants everything to be perfect. It's stressful for her." He smiled at Emily and took her hand. Sophia wanted to shout, "She is not stressed, James. She is just unkind." But she stayed silent. James looked so happy. She did not want to hurt him. One Friday night, Sophia went to a bar downtown with some friends. The bar was dark and had many people. While Sophia was waiting for her drink, she saw someone she knew. It was Emily. She was not alone. Emily sat very close to another man. He looked rich and handsome. They were laughing together. Then Sophia saw the man touch Emily's arm gently. Emily leaned towards him. They looked very close, maybe more than friends. Sophia's heart started beating very fast. Was Emily cheating on James? Sophia quickly hid so Emily could not see her. Her mind was racing. What should she do? She felt she must tell James. He should know this before the wedding. But she was very scared. What if James did not believe her story? He might think Sophia was telling lies because she secretly loved him. He might get angry with her. Maybe their friendship would end. That was her biggest worry, losing James forever. She thought about it all night long. Telling James could break his heart and destroy their friendship. Keeping the secret felt wrong, but it seemed safer. For now, she decided to keep quiet. It was a difficult secret to hold inside. For the wedding day, the day arrived. It was James and Emily's wedding day. Sophia felt sick in her stomach. She wore a simple blue dress. She did not want to come, but James was her best friend. She had to be there for him. She walked into the big church. Many people were already sitting down. Flowers were everywhere. Music played softly. It was a beautiful place for a wedding, but for Sophia, it felt cold. She found a seat near the back. She did not want James or Emily to see her face easily. Sophia sat on the hard wooden bench. Her hands felt cold. Inside her chest, her heart felt heavy like a stone. She looked towards the front of the church. James would stand there soon. He would marry Emily. Sophia wanted to stand up. She wanted to run to the front. She wanted to shout, "Stop! Don't marry her." She imagined telling James everything. Telling him about Emily and the other man she saw at the bar. Telling him how much she loved him. but she stayed in her seat. She stayed quiet. Her voice felt trapped inside her. She could not break her best friend's heart on his wedding day. Maybe she was wrong about Emily. Maybe James would be happy. She had to let him make his own choice, but it hurt so much to watch. Then the music changed. Everyone stood up. Emily started walking down the middle of the church. She wore a long, white dress. It was very beautiful, like in a magazine. Her face looked perfect. She smiled, but Sophia thought her eyes looked a little cold. Emily looked like a princess. Then Sophia looked at James. He was waiting at the front. He wore a smart black suit. He looked very handsome. James smiled when he saw Emily. He looked happy. But Sophia knew James very well. She could see something else in his eyes. He looked a little nervous, maybe a little unsure. Was he thinking about something? Or was it just normal wedding nerves? Sophia hoped he was truly happy, but a small part of her doubted it. The ceremony started. The priest spoke quiet words about love and marriage. Sophia tried not to listen too closely. The words felt like sharp knives in her heart. Then it was time for the vows. James and Emily stood facing each other. They held hands. James said his words first. He promised to love Emily forever. His voice was clear, but Sophia thought she heard a small shake in it. Then Emily said her words. Her voice was smooth and confident. She promised to love James too. Finally, they both said, "I do." The words sounded loud in the big church. "I do." Sophia closed her eyes for a second. When she opened them, tears were starting to form. She felt a deep, deep sadness inside her. It felt like a part of her heart broke right there in the church. James was married now. He belonged to Emily. Sophia took a quiet breath and tried to hide her tears. The wedding was over for her. 5. Problems start. The wedding was finished. James and Emily were now husband and wife. Sophia tried to feel happy for James, but it was difficult for her. Life continued for everyone. Weeks passed, and then 1 month, 2 months, 3 months went by. Sophia did not see James very much during this time. She thought he was probably busy with his new wife, Emily. Sophia missed talking to her best friend. One evening, Sophia was at home when her phone started to ring. She looked at the screen and saw James's name. She felt surprised to see him calling. She also felt a little worried. Why was James calling her now after several months? "Hello," Sophia said when she answered the phone. James's voice did not sound normal. He sounded very tired and sad. He did not sound like the happy James she remembered from before the wedding. "Sophia, is now a good time? Can we talk?" James asked. His voice was quiet. Sophia immediately said, "Yes, of course, James." "What is wrong? Is everything okay?" James took a slow, deep breath before he spoke again. "It's about Emily," he began. "Things are not very good between us." Sophia stayed quiet and listened very carefully. James continued speaking. "We fight a lot, Sophia. It feels like we argue almost every day now." This news surprised Sophia. James always looked so happy with Emily before they got married. "She is different now," James explained sadly. "After the wedding day, she changed so much." Sophia remembered how Emily acted during the wedding planning. Emily was often bossy and not very kind. Maybe James was starting to see that side of Emily too. "How is she different?" Sophia asked in a gentle voice. James told her more. "She goes out many nights," he said. "She stays out very late with her friends, her rich friends." James explained that sometimes Emily did not come home at all during the night. Emily told James she stayed at a friend's house. James felt very lonely in their big house. He did not understand why his new wife did not want to be with him more. He thought marriage meant building a happy life together. But now, his marriage felt sad and empty. James sounded very confused and hurt when he talked about it. Sophia listened to every word James said. Her heart felt heavy and sad for him. Even though a part of her still loved James, she did not want him to feel this pain. He was her best friend before anything else. She wanted to support him. "I am really sorry to hear that, James," she said softly. "That sounds very hard for you." She did not say anything about her own feelings or what she saw before the wedding. She just acted like a good friend. "I am always here for you if you need someone to talk to," Sophia told him. "You know you can call me any time." James seemed to feel a little bit better after sharing his problems. "Thank you, Sophia," he said. "It really helps to talk to you. You always listen and understand." They talked on the phone for a little while longer. James did not know what to do about his marriage. He just knew that things felt very wrong. When the phone call ended, Sophia put her phone down slowly. She felt very worried about James. The perfect marriage everyone talked about was clearly not perfect. Problems started very quickly after the wedding. Sophia wondered what would happen next. Would James find out more about Emily's nights out? Would their problems get worse? She hoped James would find a way to be happy again. And she knew she would be there for him as his friend when he needed her. 6. Sophia sees the secret. One afternoon, Sophia was walking home from her job. The weather was nice and sunny. She walked past a small cafe near her apartment. People were sitting outside at tables, enjoying drinks. Sophia looked at the tables and suddenly stopped walking. She saw someone she knew. It was Emily, James's wife. Emily was not by herself. She was sitting with the same man Sophia had seen her with before the wedding at the bar. They sat very close at a small table. They were talking and laughing together. It did not look like a normal meeting between friends. Sophia felt a cold feeling spread through her body. She remembered how sad James sounded when he called her about his problems with Emily. This time, Sophia knew she had to do something. James needed to see the truth. She slowly reached into her bag and took out her phone. Her heart started beating very fast, like a drum. She quickly looked around. She did not want Emily or the man to see her. She stood behind a big green plant on the pavement. Her hands were shaking a lot as she lifted her phone. She pointed the camera towards Emily's table. She worried the photo would be blurry because her hands were not steady. She took a quick breath and pressed the button. Click. She looked down at her phone screen. The picture was clear. It showed Emily and the man. They were holding hands across the little table. Sophia knew she had proof now, but what should she do with it? Sending it to James felt scary. He might be very angry with her. He might not want to be her friend anymore. But James was suffering. He deserved to know why Emily was often away from home. Sophia took another deep breath. She opened the messaging app on her phone. She found James's contact name. Her fingers felt slow and heavy. She attached the photo to a new message. She thought for a moment about what to write. She typed simple words. "James, I saw this today. I am very sorry." She looked at the message one last time, then she pressed the send button. The message disappeared from her screen. It was sent. She could not take it back. Sophia continued walking home, but her legs felt heavy. Her mind was racing with thoughts and worries. How would James react? Would he finally understand Emily? Would he be okay? Hours went by. Sophia arrived at her apartment, but she could not relax. She kept checking her phone every few minutes. There was no reply from James. The afternoon turned into evening. The sun went down. Sophia sat on her sofa in the quiet room, just looking at her dark phone screen. Every little noise made her jump. Was that her phone? Was it James? But it was never him. She started to feel sick with worry. Waiting was terrible. Maybe sending the photo was a bad idea. Finally, late that night, her phone rang loudly. Sophia jumped. She looked at the screen. It showed James's name. Her hand trembled as she answered the call. "Hello," she said softly. James did not say hello back. His voice was low and sounded very tired and sad. "Sophia," he said. Then there was a long silence. Sophia waited, holding her breath. "Can you come over?" James asked quietly. His question hung in the air. "Come over now?" Sophia asked, surprised. "Yes, please," James said. "Come to the house." Before Sophia could ask anything else, James ended the call. Sophia slowly stood up from the sofa. Her legs felt a little weak. She had to go to James. She grabbed her keys and her bag, wondering what she would find when she arrived at his house. 7. James knows the truth. Sophia walked to James's house. Her heart was beating fast. She did not know what to expect. James called her after many hours. He sounded different on the phone. He just said, "Come over." She arrived at the big house. It was very quiet. Usually, music played or you could hear Emily talking loudly. Tonight, there was only silence. Sophia knocked on the door softly. James opened the door. He looked tired. His eyes were red. He did not smile. "Sophia, thank you for coming," he said quietly. He let her inside. The house felt empty. Emily's colorful things were gone from the living room. It looked like James's old apartment from college, but bigger and sadder. "Where is Emily?" Sophia asked. She was a little afraid of the answer. "She left," James said. He sat down on the sofa. He put his head in his hands for a moment. Then he looked up at Sophia. "I showed her the picture you sent." Sophia sat down too, but not too close. She waited for him to continue. "At first, she was angry," James explained. "She shouted. She said you were lying. She said you always wanted me." James stopped. He looked at Sophia. "I knew that wasn't true." "I mean about the lying." He took a deep breath. Then she stopped shouting. She started to cry, and then she told me everything. Sophia listened carefully. She did not say anything. "She told me she never loved me, Sophia," James said. His voice was low and full of pain. "She said she married me for my family name, for the money maybe. She liked the idea of being my wife. But she did not love me." He looked around the empty room. "She was seeing that man for a long time before the wedding, during the wedding plans. Even on our honeymoon, she was texting him." James shook his head slowly. "All this time, I didn't see it, or maybe I didn't want to see it." He looked very sad. Sophia felt sorry for him. Her friend was hurt. "James, I'm so sorry," Sophia said softly. He looked at her then. His eyes were still sad, but there was something else there too, a different look. "The strange thing is, Sophia, deep down, I think I knew something was wrong. I felt it sometimes, like something was not real." He paused, looking straight at Sophia. His eyes seemed to see her clearly for the first time in a long time. "I ignored my feelings. I wanted to believe everything was perfect." He kept looking at her. It felt like a long time. Sophia felt her cheeks get warm. What was he thinking? He looked like he understood something new, something important. The sadness was still there, but now there was also realization. He knew the truth about Emily, but maybe he was learning another truth too. 8, love wins. James looked straight into Sophia's eyes. The sadness was still there, but something new was there too, understanding. "Sophia," he began, his voice soft. "I feel so foolish. I don't know why I didn't see it much sooner." Sophia waited, her heart pounding in her chest like a drum. She could hardly breathe. "See what, James?" she managed to ask, her voice barely a whisper. James let out a long breath. "It was you," he said simply. "All this time it was always you." He paused, looking around the room as if seeing it for the first time. Then his eyes met hers again. "I believe I loved you all along, Sophia. Deep down, I think I knew. but I was confused or maybe scared. Tears started to fall down Sophia's face. She quickly tried to wipe them away, but more came. These were happy tears, tears of relief after so many years of quiet waiting and secret feelings. James reached out and gently took her hand in his. His touch sent a warm feeling through her. "I married the wrong girl," James said, his voice filled with regret but also certainty. "That was the biggest mistake of my life, but I won't lose the right one now. I won't lose you." A small sob escaped Sophia, but it was mixed with a smile. "You didn't lose me, James," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I never went anywhere. I was always here." James squeezed her hand gently. A real smile, warm and genuine, spread across his face, making his eyes shine. "I know," he whispered. "Thank you for waiting." They sat together for a while, just holding hands and feeling the change in the air. It felt like the start of something new and real. Not long after that difficult day, James began the legal steps to divorce Emily. It was not an easy time, but James felt sure about his decision. He needed to fix his mistake. Weeks passed. One evening, James and Sophia walked side by side down a quiet street. Bright city lights made patterns on the pavement. They held hands comfortably, like they had done it for years. It felt peaceful and right. Sophia looked up at James's profile as they walked. He turned his head and caught her looking. He gave her that warm smile again. She thought about the long road they had traveled. There was pain and heartbreak along the way. But now, standing here with him, holding his hand, it felt worth it. Maybe he took a long time to understand his own heart. Maybe their path was not straight, but love had found its way to them. It showed them the right direction in the end. Yes, she thought happily, love really does win.